It's quite a breathtaking landscape. Grassy areas, the beautiful lake with the lookout that looks out over to Port Phillip Bay. It's such a quiet pocket of Elsternwick. Most days, the only thing that you'll hear when walking around the gardens is the rustling of the wind through the trees. I'm Shannon Peach, a director of Milieu property, and we're the developer of Elsternwick Gardens. Elsternwick Gardens is located in the Melbourne suburb of Elsternwick. Elsternwick is a suburb approximately 10 kilometres from Melbourne CBD. It's part Bayside suburb, part leafy in a southeast family-orientated enclave. Rippon Lea Estate formerly was around 21 acres in size. It was originally amalgamated as a reformation of a classic English garden. The site itself was a part of Rippon Lea Estate for around 170 years until the Commonwealth Government actually acquired this property for the ABC to become Australia's first TV production and broadcast facility. The opportunity to create a collection of new buildings and a new community at Elsternwick Gardens is a truly once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and something we don't take lightly. We started with a master plan of the site with Bagot.
Milieu came to us with a brief of creating a precinct that captured the sensitivities of what underpins all their projects, which are strong cultural associations, the sensitivities of residential living, the history of the place, sustainability. What was apparent when we walked through the gardens was how the mansion has this sense of confidence, how it hits the ground, and how the landscape provides this real softening around it, which together with the ABC studios was able to create the seeds of a really interesting proposition, creating a community in a village-like setting within an urban oasis.
We pay homage to the ABC's rich history on the site with our arts and cultural strategy. We've worked together with Brooch Commissions and March Studio to reimagine the spirit of what was once produced here. Around 40% of the site will be landscaped grounds. Part of the concept was to weave the site back into Rippon Lea Estate. As part of that, we've negotiated to be able to have a direct access for future residents.
The initial brief was to have an immersive project, a project that landscape and buildings were intertwined with each other, that there was no separation between those two things spatially, but also a sense that you're creating a home at this place. I think it's really important on these projects, and this one is really unique. We're able to keep a really significant tree as kind of a memory, and I think it makes people feel really attached, and an immediate sense of kind of place is established because this tree has been there for so long. These kind of nuanced things that we respond to, and I think that there's kind of well-being built into the idea of landscape. We don't always know that we're seeking it out, but I think once we're in it, we realize that we feel better, that it has an impact on our lives.
Elsternwick Gardens, as a development, has three separate offerings, being Garden Place, Rippon Lea Terrace, and the Garden Pavilion. Being sympathetic to its surrounds, Garden Place presents as two 4-storey buildings to Gordon Street. For Garden Place, we engaged K.P.D.O, who are most well known for their high-end homes. This was really exciting for us because they rarely do multi-res developments.
Having the opportunity to have a broad brief about how we could all make contributions to the design itself was fantastic.
We don't like to overwhelm space because at the end of the day, the purchaser will come and also inject their personality into the home. We start with a neutral palette. We have a beautiful oak floor and then warmer whites like almond colours for the walls.
We layer up with stone, and the door handles, which are beautifully handcrafted. And also we like to bring texture through painted timber and things like that, so it might be a neutral colour, but it has this lovely rich texture to it.
Our neutral palette is really there to complement the natural light conditions through the gardens.
Along the west of the site, Rippon Lea Terrace rises to 6 levels with views over Rippon Lea Estate. For Rippon Lea Terrace, Woods Bagot's brief was to bring the outdoors in.
Mid-century architecture really promoted the use of natural materials. That is something that we've been able to use as a prompt in terms of how we've layered both the architecture and the interior as well. So there's this seamless connection between architecture and interior. The sense of warmth is created through natural materials like timber, through natural warm stones, and very fine detailing as well, which picks up on that mid-century modernism, reflected even in the use of a beautiful blown glass element that sits in the kitchen, done by a local artist.
For the Garden Pavilion, we engaged Flack Studio. This is our 3rd project with Flack, and we're excited to see signature details and a motive collection of finishes in these premium apartment offerings.
Milieu came to us to design the Garden Pavilion. It was really exciting and a very unique opportunity for our studio. We don't work in the multi-residential sector too often, but when we do, we really want to create something very special and unique. What we did want to ensure was that each space felt like a Flack Studio home. The mixture of materials, detail, and celebration of how we live within our houses.
You can't underestimate the beauty of the place creating a sense of wellness in its own right. Imagine a place where it is truly this urban oasis that you come home to.